Jeff, what were your thoughts on the atmosphere tonight? I mean, Nicholas Lidstrom comes out for the ceremonial puck drop, and I don't know if anybody could keep track of how many octopi landed on the ice.
Well, I was wondering if Nick brought his gear. That was one. I thought it was awesome when he walked down. The ovation was amazing, as well deserved. Obviously, one of the best players of all time. Certainly, one of the best Red Wings, and brought lots of great moments to the fans in this building. Obviously, they were loaded up with octopi. I mean, the atmosphere over the last, honestly, all season, but over the last 4 or 5 games has been unbelievable. It's a playoff type atmosphere, and when the puck drops in Joe Louis Arena, it's as good as any building anywhere. The amenities at the new Little Caesars Arena will be great, but when the puck actually drops and you're standing on the bench, it's an amazing atmosphere.
To that point, you kind of mentioned it all season long, but tomorrow it's really real. Does it start to settle in for you, the reality of it being the last game tomorrow?
Well, I think, as we got into this, we had a little break there for 3 days, and those sometimes are hard because you can't keep yourself to the battle level that you got to be from a hockey standpoint, but it has given us a chance to kind of sit back and think about the fact these are the last 2 games, and certainly tomorrow will be emotional for a number of reasons. Obviously, the last game of the Joe, all the great coaches and players that'll be back. Hank's 1,000th game, so I mean everything combined, it'll be real emotional. I know it'll be a real great atmosphere. It'll be fun to be a part of.
Coach, how did Laredo do?
I thought Matt played pretty well. I thought Larkin was skating really well actually, and so I think as the game went along, I thought Matt was able to get himself a couple opportunities. So I didn't think as a whole we were quite as good as we need to be, but I thought Matt did well.
Jeff, considering all the emotion in the building right at the start of the game, was it disappointing to come out the way you guys did, and what did you think overall of the play?
Well, again, I didn't think we had our A game. We got to be better than that tomorrow. I talked to the guys about the fact that when you have layoffs the way we had a layoff after we had been going every other day, or really every almost day after day after day, you have a tendency to have a little bit of a letdown, and we were trying to avoid it. Unfortunately, I didn't think we did. I thought as the first period went along, we got way better. I thought by the end of the first period we were good, but then I didn't think we were good enough in the second. I thought the third we finally got going a little bit, but we just had too many guys not have their A game, too many guys had B and C games. We got to have everybody have their A game tomorrow.
Jeff, I know you talk about having the A game, but I've got to imagine that just with the energy in the building and the fans and the atmosphere, how much can the players feed off of that? And even just for you, I mean, what will that be like if you can anticipate?
Well, we're in a spot that we don't like to be at all, in a sense that we're out of the playoffs. But if you're going to be in that spot, you're playing in front of a crowd. We're closing an iconic building. That energy has really, I think, boosted us over the course of the last number of games. It's kept us playing at a real high level. I think we'll play at a real high level tomorrow because of that. I think the energy level will be great.
Jeff, the game being a little bit shinny-esque, can you still get the same type of evaluation you're looking for? And ultimately, isn't this an evaluation the last 2 nights as it relates to overall play for guys?
Well, I think you're always evaluating. You're evaluating as a player. I think in this league now today, your job's always on the line, and you're evaluating it every day. Obviously, certain guys, Zetterberg, guys like that aren't, but I think the bigger thing that we've really worked extremely hard on and done a real good job is making sure, and I've said this ad nauseum, but making sure that we don't lose our culture, and by that I mean the work ethic, the attention to detail, making sure that every game matters like a playoff game, so that we're not sitting in this spot a year from now. So while the evaluation, I think you're evaluated every day, and I think when times are tough, your character shows big time, and so I think in these situations you see which guys have the great character and which guys maybe don't. I think as a group we've had unreal character through this stretch.
For Henrik to get to 1,000 games here, Jeff, he would have had to play all 82, and he's going to do that. What does it say about him that he's going to give the fans that moment, and certainly for himself as well?
I can't say enough about Henrik Zetterberg and his approach. I think he'll go down as one of the best winners of this era. in the NHL. You know, I use the word two-way player, but what a two-way player is a winner. Lots of guys can score and do those kind of things. Very few guys are winners the way that he is. I think he's put this organization, along with Pav, on their shoulders for a long, long time, and kept them at heights. This organization kept us at heights that probably shouldn't have been achievable. And, you know, I just think back to all the moments, the game in Dallas, the year after I left and I was in Grand Rapids, and he just refused to allow them not to get in the playoffs, and next thing you know, they go on a run. His competitive level on a daily basis, his preparation leading up to the games, his attention to detail is unbelievable. It's an unreal example for our young guys. He's one of the best winners that certainly I think has been around any organization.